this one more time, and if this doesn't work, then I'll know. Failed experiment. Trying to go live from my phone, which apparently the Wi-Fi connection for live connection is really, really horrible. So we'll kind of start over a little bit, and I'll see what uploads to YouTube, and maybe delete or keep the better of the live streams. I wanted to try a live stream because I thought it would be easier than editing videos all the time. I could just do a live broadcast and then boom, video is uploaded and we're good to go. But that might not work out. I might have to just go back to filming videos, editing them, and uploading the old-fashioned way. So to restart the unboxing, I got this at Origins, and the first thing I pulled out was the deck of cards. So I've never played one of these designs before, so I know a little bit. At some point, you draw the card. This will tell you like which units you activate. Some of the it looks like timestamps for when certain events happen. So totally, completely a card-driven game. Maybe not timestamps. 219, 220. Looks like it's the same. So maybe those obviously correlate to something that different events will happen. So that's interesting there. So we got cards. And I had just got done looking at the rule book as well. So let's take a look here again. Now, the rule book looks pretty fascinating. The game looks to be probably one of the more complex games I've come across. It does have 42 pages of rules, and the rules at least are in full color. Full color was important because the map has a lot of symbology on it. Now, here's a sample. Now, this sample map looks like it might be taken from the little insert map that they give, which has all the symbology here for fire arcs and whatnot. And that's not on the hardbound map. When I was talking to the folks at Decision Games, what they said was the normal maps that would come with the games were very visually confusing. So they kept the main map you play on fairly as simple as possible. And then the insert map, which has all the different symbology, that would help you plan and see where all the different fire arcs and things were. So we'll take a look at the little map here in a second. But the rule book looks nice. It's good paper. Again, full color because this does rely heavily on color codes. So it's nice to see that the rules will make it easy to follow and learn. It looks like pieces I'll be throwing on the map. Landing checks, overlapping. And this is good. There's lots of play examples. My understanding is these games complex, not only complex, but very difficult to win against. So it will be fun to get this out on the table and start learning and just start reading, just start putting pieces out. And then here's a sample of the map. Now this map picture is a little bit different. It doesn't have all the little colored circles. It's got a couple here, so those are probably important for something. But most of these will have all kinds of little colored symbology that goes around for like the firing arcs and how things can attack. Look, I think a lot of the Japanese forces are in place, and I think that's what makes the system really kind of work, is the enemy doesn't have to do a lot of movement because you're going to do most of the maneuvering against those static elements. So we'll see how that plays out here at Iwo Jima. Again, just kind of going through lots of rules, looks like on artillery, combats, and again, lots of examples of rule playthrough. Cards in action, revealing Japanese unit in depth. More map examples, which is fantastic because that's really going to help me out a lot. I don't know anybody who's played one of these, so if I got to figure this out on my own, it's good then to see that they have lots of examples. So the rule book, I think, will be a very useful tool overall. So anyway, part of your unboxing, there's your rule book. There's your cards. Let's see what else we can get. I don't know why the stream was really messing up earlier, so hopefully it's a little more stable now. We'll see. I don't know. Might be the first and last time that we try this live stream. But this is the smaller planning map that they told me about. So instead of putting all this symbology on the big map, they put it here in the planning map so you can look. Stream is good? Okay, thanks. I know I tried streaming a few minutes ago and I felt like this thing just paused. It was like locking up every few seconds, at least from my side. So if it's going good now, that's great. We'll see how long we can keep this going. But the little map here, the idea was to put all the confusing fire arc symbology here. That way, when you're playing on the big map, you're not focused on everything here, the clutter. You get to focus more on the maneuvering of your troops, and then you get to plan out here all of your troop landings and everything like that. So we'll see how that works. I think that's nice because I've seen some of the maps from like the Omaha Beach, and you put all that stuff on that map. It just looks like so much. Here we got the player aid charts. I don't know if it matters to folks. The paper is kind of thin, kind of flimsy. It's not a very thick cardstock. I don't know. Some people, that's a problem. I think I would prefer a little bit heavier cardstock, especially if these are charts I reference often. So I'm probably just going to stick these inside sheet protectors. That way I can, make notes as needed to help keep track of information. But anyway, there's one. You got your U.S. attack results chart, U.S. weapons chart, and then on the back side or front side, who knows what's front, then it's got U.S. barrage results chart, and then at the bottom a Japanese fire chart. Okay, so some information there. Also in the box we have another player aid chart. This is your terrain effects charts, and then at the bottom pictorial examples of the terrain. And on the back is a nice sequence of play. So again, it's that same flimsy paper, but I'll probably just end up sticking those in sheet protectors. This one, now because I don't know how to play the game, is a turn sequence track, and I think you actually put the cards on there, and that's a sequence of action, but I think as you go through different stages, you're actually supposed to put your cards here, and if that's the case, kind of disappointing that this is also super flimsy paper. I think this probably could have used something a little more sturdy if it gets used as I think it will get used. So again, probably something I'll just stick in a sheet protector. That way I can play the cards, make notes, draw on it with my markers or whatever. But there you go. That's 3 player aid charts I've seen so far. And then here, U.S. Marine Corps step loss and unit holding display. 5th Division, 4th Division, 3rd Division. So keep track of all my troops that are going aboard. Going aboard the map, it's a board map going ashore aboard. So anyway, another flimsy map there. I guess I say flimsy and it only sticks out to me because for the price I paid for this, I've gotten similar games where all the components are thick cardboard, thick cardstock, and this really feels like somebody just ran this through their printer and just printed out some stuff. I mean, it looks good. It's clear. I just feel like, man, where'd all my money go? I think my money went into the map, maybe. And then here we got another U.S. record, Japanese record track, a record track. I got 3 record tracks. And again, something new for me to learn since I've never played before. Yeah, it does seem disappointing. It is a little bit, really. Not to call on other games, but I don't know how much this costs retail. I bought this at Origin, so I'm really not sure if I got much or a discount, but it was $90. So for me, $90 is kind of pricey for a game, and so I really thought that maybe the components would be all a little bit more than just like a photocopy of a document or printout of a document, but it's all right. Once you get going, should be all right. I will say this though, I'm pulling the things right out of the box as they were in there. This, I did look through this book, Black Sand, Red Blood. Yeah, for $90, I want good components too. And I mentioned that because I hope it's great. When I was earlier, when I was looking through Compass Games, they had this Butterfield game. I think they did Action Ardennes, and someone else was saying like kind of the same thing. You pay like $90 or so for the game, and the counters felt flimsy. They were kind of small, paper map, and they had a lot of the same kind of thoughts that I had. Is I can get some games that don't cost as much but have much better components. And so it is kind of disappointing to get this and be like, kind of spoiled with the other games that have great components. And then you come here and it's like, oh, that should not matter. But, when you start talking value, those things come up. Anyway, this book here, Black Sand, Red Blood, I thought was really, really cool because it's a historical book, if you will, about the Battle of Iwo Jima. And I haven't read it yet, but I flipped through because at first I wasn't sure what this was. I thought it's a scenario book or something, but it looks like an actual kind of step-by-step history of the battle, and with pictures. I mean, this is amazing. A great timeline. So this in itself is actually, this really helped boost the value of the game for me. This helped a lot. Now, really to put this in perspective, this picture right here, if you can see it, it says it's a Marine offers a smoke to a Japanese soldier who played dead for 36 hours in a shell hole. I can't tell you how powerful that image struck me. This was, I mean, I just cannot begin to tell you. I can't begin to imagine what these folks went through. This person thought their life was in such danger. I mean, obviously you're in danger at war, but they were willing to put themselves in this foxhole, play dead for 36 hours, hoping maybe not to get caught. And then when he's found, someone's taking some compassion on him. It's just, it's a powerful picture. I'm not sure to why it struck me as such, but it really did. Yeah, I thought so. It struck me a lot. And then to further read on, just some amazing pictures. It's a sad we don't have those kind of pictures and things from D Day itself, Normandy, but to have some of these stories and those pictures from Iwo Jima really adds some personal perspective to the game. So it's just a game, yeah, and you're just pushing paper counters around, but it represents human conflict that happened on a scale that I just cannot begin to imagine. So this book, for me, I think is, not a big book, but really helps add to the value. So I don't feel as bad spending the $90 because that book really, really adds to it. All right, then the counters. You got 2 sheets, so I'm assuming then green, these must be the Marines. Got them upside down. They're by units. So we'll figure out what all the numbers are. I'm sure those are movement, attack, strength, defense values, things like that. Again, I think these are going to be serviceable. They're not super thick. And I don't know if anybody's watched the channel. We do like a lot of games by like Flying Pig Games. I've just been so spoiled by 1-inch counters that are heavy, have some heft, So to go back to something that's got not quite 3/4-inch counters and they're kind of thin, indie, it's like, well, it is what it is. But looks like you got a nice full sheet. It says there are 3 sheets. So there's your Marines. We have Japanese. Again, those are upside down. I think those are E for engineers. What comes to mind, different infantry types. All right, so you got your Japanese forces. Here it looks like a picture of a Japanese guy with a sword, so I'm not sure these are maybe close quarter combat. I have no idea, I'll be honest. I haven't read the rules yet, right? But then we got these specifically say disrupted. So there you go, I can mark disrupted units. Tactical reinforcements. HQ naval units. Okay, so looks like we maybe have actual infantry and then some naval units there. All right, so there's your Japanese forces, some admin markers, and then we have a lot more admin markers. Step losses, more disrupted markers. Let's see, garrison, maybe reinforced folks, some smoke, arty units. Class 3, not quite sure what those would be used for, but obviously admin markers of some type. Mark where caves are. Turn, phase. All right, so nothing spectacular, very utilitarian, and will definitely get the job done as far as tracking the gameplay. All right, so there you go, three counter sheets. Nothing to write home about, but there they are. Now the map. I think this is the only thing that really came in a baggie. I already took it out of the bag because I didn't want to go through the trouble of putting this in and taking it in and out of a plastic bag all the time. But it is a hard mounted map board. Yay! And I don't think I'll unfold all of this just because I'm on the cheap phone stand here for broadcasting. This gives you a sample. So if I pull out real quick there's that here, the little planning map, you can probably see a difference here. So again, the planning map, that has all the little symbologies. And that's my understanding. The circles represent like firing arcs for different weapon systems by color. And all was taken off of this map just to help ease the overload of information. Looks like you got spots here for putting troops, maybe cards and whatnot. And a lot of these activation numbers represent your cards. So there's the map, and it is a lot bigger. So that's cool. I really do like the map. I've unloaded this once and looked at it, and the map, that's why I'm thinking probably a lot of the money just went to the map. But you have two parts of the map. So you've got your little planning sheet, and in play, theory, practice, I don't know how much of a hassle be like going from my planning map to look at specific firing arcs to translating that to the actual map. I don't know how tedious that will make gameplay, but part of me says I think I prefer it this way. That way, when I'm looking at the actual map, it's a little less clutter to focus on. I don't know. We'll see. They told me that was the point, and they said people prefer that. So we'll see. I'm a people. I guess I'll get to have an opinion here once I get this to the table. But yeah, the map unfolds a little bit more. So again, my little table space here, I won't be able to unfold the whole map, but it's fairly good sized. It looks like it's pretty wide and like 2 panels deep. So, even more. It's deceptively big. But that's the map. So this was an unboxing, just kind of showing these components again. I thought it would be funner just to do a live unboxing versus a video unboxing and uploading it. Since I do most everything without editing in one take anyway, I thought, we'll just do it live. Then it will be on the internets forever. So there's the hard map. You also get a smaller planning map. You get 3 counter sheets. One, which is primarily looks like all admin markers, Japanese forces with some admin markers, and primarily all U.S. Marine units with a few admin markers. You get this amazing book. I'll say it again, just from the flip through, I think for the purchase of the game, this book right here really helps bring the value up. The book, I think, I haven't read it, but I think this will do a really amazing job of giving you some flavor and pulling you into the battle. Then you get your player aid charts. One chart there, U.S. Marine Corps step loss unit holding charts, turn sequence track, sequence of play. Let's see, some of these were double-sided. That one's double-sided with terrain effects. This here turn sequence track, that was single-sided, and the Marine tracking sheet, that was single-sided, and then this record track, that's single-sided as well. And then we have the U.S. barrage results, Japanese fire charts, U.S. attack results, the weapons chart, that is also, that one's double-sided. Then you have your stack of cards, which we kind of flip through. Again, have not read the rules, so I can't explain the cards to you, but this is a card-driven game, so this will let you know. I did see that this down here number has to do with Japanese artillery results, and I believe these are what units you activate or what spaces on the map you activate or units, and then the rest of this is possible events that can happen. Of course, I say that now, and after I read the rules and play the game, I might come back and say, yep, I was completely wrong. Now, it did come shrink wrapped, the cards did. I don't like to put a rubber band around my cards, so I'm going to take one of these here plastic baggies they provided, and Probably just stick the cards in there. If it's not big enough, I'll have to go get a sandwich bag or something. Well, I might have to go get a sandwich bag or something. Not quite big enough. Yeah, not happening. All right, so later down the road, I will go get a sandwich baggie and put the cards in there. So I got a bunch of loose cards now. And then finally, you got your rule book. There you go. So that's all the components. Hopefully, I'll get this to the table one day, and that would be my dream. I wanted to test out the live streaming just to see if it's feasible, if it works, and it looks like if the Wi-Fi connection holds out for whatever reason, looks like I can do a live stream, and I think it would be fun to play a game. I don't know if it will be this game, but I definitely want to do a live play of something. Awesome, thank you. I'm glad you enjoyed the unboxing, and the live stream was cool. Yeah, that's always been kind of a, I don't know if you want to call that a dream, but it's been a goal of some sort, just to be able to get out, and that way if people want to share thoughts on something. Yeah, exactly. Saves on. That was my thought. My wife was nice. She got me some software, but it takes forever to film it, upload it to the computer, slap it together, render, process, upload to YouTube. And I thought, man, if I just did live straight to YouTube, great. And if you've ever seen any of my stuff, you know I don't do a whole lot of editing. Mistakes and all stay in there. So you prefer live streams, but you rarely do it. What channel are you? I'll go check it out. Yeah, it can be a real pain. I don't put much into editing, but you know. Geek City USA. All right, yeah, I'll go check it out. Yeah. Well, thank you. Hey, thanks for dropping by and leaving some comments, so I know at least this works if I do more live streams. It'd be nice that people can leave comments. And see, and I thought that's what would be very cool if you do a live play. My thought was, wouldn't it be fun if I'm playing a game, a solo game or something like that, and people can pop in, leave comments, and say, "Hey, why don't you have, whatever enemy forces do this, or maybe you should move here." I just thought it'd be cool to get some interaction with folks, So we'll see how it goes. But anyway, thanks a lot for tuning in for the live stream here on the unboxing. And for those that see this as a recording on YouTube, if you have any thoughts on the game, go ahead and share and leave it. But I'll go ahead and bail out for now. So thank you so much for tuning in. Have a good day. Yeah, see ya. Bye.